In this life, we always have two choices. Either we stay where we are, stuck in our comfort zone, keep on distracting ourselves from reality, or we decide to change the situation, try something new, and move closer to a better version of ourselves. But change does not come overnight. Working on yourself, building new habits, chasing your goals does not come overnight. It takes consistency. Every single day, you have to make the choice to face your fears, your doubts, your negative thoughts. Fear is the number one reason most people never even take the first step towards their dreams. Everyone has problems. Everyone has sad story. The people who made it to their goals, they didn't let the fear control them. They have learned to push through the struggles, negative thoughts, and keep moving forward. You need to understand that fear is nothing more than an illusion. The problem is not that you can't do it. The problem is that you don't trust yourself enough. That you worry, you overthink, you give up too soon. But you always have a choice. To stay stuck where you are, unhappy, or keep moving forward, even when it's hard. Sometimes the biggest problem you will ever face is not the world around you. It is your mind. Because if your mind is against you, no one else can help you. Think about it. There are countless people with real talent, people with blessings that could change their lives, but many of them never even take the first step. Not because they lack potential, but because they are afraid. That fear, it does not appear out of nowhere. We are raised to play it safe most of the time. We are raised to be normal. So we are subconsciously trying to fit in, trying to be liked, not taking risks, to focus on a regular job like everyone else. So when you are an adult, you are acting like that subconsciously. And when it comes time to leave a job you hate, walk away from a relationship that hurts you, or trying something new, we freeze. Because the unknown feels terrifying. We are told that a regular job matters the most, and chasing your passion is a waste of time. Thinking like that day by day, we stop believing in what we love, forgetting that passion is often the secret ingredient behind real success. And in this day and age, fear is everywhere. It almost feels like staying positive is a full-time job. But you don't have to let that fear control you. Most of those things you cannot change. But what you can change is what you do control. What you can control is your reaction, your choices, your mindset, and the way you decide to live your life. If you want to overcome your fear, you first need to understand yourself. You need to know who you really are and where your fear is coming from. And that starts with asking yourself some honest questions like, what do I actually enjoy doing? What am I good at? What is the most important thing in my life? What stresses me out the most? What does success even mean to me? Am I happy with my work? Would I still be happy if I stayed in the same job in the long term? What makes me angry, sad, or frustrated? What makes me happy? What do I need to change about myself? How do I see myself? And finally, what is the one thing that scares me the most? Once you ask yourself these questions, you don't just discover your fears. You know the reasons behind them. And that's important. You start to see where did it come from and how it became a part of your identity. Once you understand the cause of your fear, it becomes more easy to overcome it. You will come to the conclusion that fear is just an illusion. Suddenly you realize that 90% of the fear existed only in your imagination. When you know yourself and you understand the real reason behind your fear, you can control it instead of letting it controlling you. And from that point on, you can finally move forward, even if it's just small steps at first. At least you're moving in the right direction. Fear is the real enemy here. We hide behind it all the time, using it as a convenient excuse. But fear does not just stop you from living a happy life right now. If you let it control you, it can destroy you, mentally and even physically, in the long run. Every one of us has some kind of fear. So let me ask you, what's yours? Do you fear rejection, failure, change, losing your job, getting sick, or maybe losing someone you love. At the end of the day, fear falls into two categories. The first kind is fear of something that might happen to us, like illness, an accident, or loss. The second kind is the fear that comes from within. The fear of rejection, the fear of failure, the fear of not being enough. But if you really look closely, all fears share one root thought. If this happened, I won't be able to handle it. And the more you repeat that thought, the more you start to believe it until it becomes your reality. And then fear controls every decision you make. But the moment you start believing that I can handle whatever comes my way, and even if something is truly beyond my control, then I trust that God will guide me through it. Suddenly, nothing feels as scary anymore. To reach that point, you have to change how you see fear. Don't look at it like a massive, impossible wall. Instead, see it as a test. And every time you face it, every time you walk through it, you don't just survive, you get stronger. There were things that happened in our life outside of our control. But the real question is not, why did this happen to me? The real question is, what am I going to do now? If you spend your time complaining, playing the victim, asking why me, you're wasting energy, you're wasting time. Instead, shift your focus to ask yourself, what did this experience teach me? How did it change me? Because nothing in life happens by accident. Every situation, good or bad, is an opportunity to learn and grow. Then ask yourself, what can I do right now to change the situation I'm in? You're not the victim of your circumstances. Where you are today is not just because of the economy or even the country you live in. Sure, those things play a role, but your choices matter more. The truth is, you're here in this moment mostly because of your choices you have made, or the choices you were too afraid to make. And if you want your life to change, you need to take full responsibility for it. To stop blaming other people, to stop blaming the system. Complaining never changes reality, but action does. In fact, when life puts you in a tough spot, you always have 3 options to go through it. Option 1, to change the situation, to take responsibility, to find a solution and take action. Sometimes that's all it takes. And option number 2, if you cannot change the situation, walk away. If you can't change it, then leave it. Start a new career, start a new business, develop your skills, find a new opportunity. The world is big enough. You will find a way. And option number 3, if you find yourself that you cannot change the situation, but at the same time you cannot leave it, accept it. See it as a part of your journey. Every setback is a lesson. You will learn your lesson and you'll move on. The real problem is that we give our fears too much power. Our mind creates the worst case scenarios. And suddenly, a small problem becomes a big monster in our head. Fear and anxiety do not always come from reality. It may come from your imagination as you repeat over and over negative thoughts in your mind. And once you realize that, you can finally stop letting fear control you. Don't waste your energy worrying about things that you cannot control. When something big goes wrong, what's your first reaction? Do you panic? Do you blame yourself or blame the people around you? Or just feeling that life is falling apart? When life gets messy, most of the time we become our worst enemy because we keep focusing on the things that are completely out of our control and make the worst scenario out of it. And that's how we waste our time, our energy, our peace of mind. Instead, focus on what you can control. One of the biggest sources of stress is worrying about what people think of us. What do they think of me? How do they see me? Do they think I failed? Just thinking about those questions drains you. It does not help. Step back and ask yourself, what is actually in my control right now? How do I see myself? And how do I want to live my life? People cannot really hurt you unless you let them. Their opinion cannot build you up or tear you down unless you give it more power than it deserves. Whenever you feel anxiety creeping in, stop and ask yourself a simple question. What can I do right now? Because we don't control the outcomes, but we do control our actions and the way we think. It does not mean huge changes overnight. It means small steps every single day. Working out, reading, learning, studying, improving yourself, even just 1% at a time. That's my own goal, to get a little bit better every single day by reading, studying, and working out. It sounds simple, but it's powerful. Because if you keep showing up, if you keep moving forward, even just one small step at a time, that's how you transform your whole life. And whenever you feel anxious or stressed about a situation, ask yourself one simple question. What is the worst thing that can happen? The moment you actually think about the worst case scenario and break it down with a plan A, plan B, plan C, you realize that it's never as bad as your mind made it out to be. And no matter what happens, you will find a way to deal with it. Change starts with a simple decision, a single sentence. I can do this. If you believe that, you gain control over your life. And the real cure for fear, it's action. If you don't move, nothing changes. It is simple. No action, no results. Stop asking, why isn't my life getting any better if you are standing still? The moment you take even the smallest step forward, everything shifts. You feel stronger, more in control, and you realize you were never really trapped by fear. You were only standing still. In the end, every moment of your life comes down to one single choice, to try or not try. That's the only thing that you can control, the effort, the action, not the outcome. And the choice is always yours. Why do you keep letting negative thoughts and self-doubt control you? Maybe your confidence is shaken. To move towards your goals, you need to have faith. Not just in your dreams that they will come true, but to have faith in yourself and your abilities. Confidence does not come out of nowhere. You build it. You build it by learning new skills, improving every day, and proving to yourself that you can grow. Set a realistic goal. Tell yourself, I'm going to focus on this one skill, and I will be just 1% better than I was yesterday. That's it. Small, realistic progress. You said you would do something, and you actually did it. That's what gives you real confidence. Not achieving the goal itself, but seeing your progress, your improvement, that you are better every single day. The real confidence means that you're actually good at what you're doing. You should applaud yourself for every small achievement because it means that you're actually improving. The more you work on yourself, the better you get, and the stronger your real confidence becomes. If you are learning a new skill, if you're trying to be good at something, don't just expect to be perfect at it from the first try or second try. That's not realistic. Take small steps, make mistakes, learn, and repeat. When you make progress, even a little, applaud yourself for it. That's how every dream starts. Not with a perfect plan, but with one small step. Have you ever felt like everyone around you are moving with their lives and you're standing still? That's FOMO, the fear of missing out. It is that feeling that if you don't make the right choice, you will fall behind. You will miss your moment, your chance. But here's the truth. No one really knows what the right choice is in the beginning. Every decision you make is just you doing your best with what you know right now. And that's okay. Every path you take has lessons waiting for you. And somehow, no matter which path you choose, life always finds a way to guide you where you're meant to be, to guide you to your highest good. That's where JOMO comes in. JOMO is the joy of missing out. It's the peace that comes from knowing you don't have to be everywhere, do everything, or follow everyone's path. You can slow down, breathe, and trust that what's meant for you will not pass you by. Because think about it. How many times did something not work out and you later realized it was actually protecting you from something worse? Or you missed one opportunity only to find something way much better later on. You don't have to chase every door. Some doors are meant to stay closed. So instead of worrying, did I make the wrong choice? Did I choose the wrong path? Try saying, maybe this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. That's the joy of missing out. You feel calm, grounded, and confident in your own timing. Moving on to another thing that will give you peace of mind, which is learning to say no. When you start learning to say no, you will probably feel guilty at first. Like you did something wrong or disappointed someone. But saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It means you finally started respecting yourself, respecting your time and energy. Saying no isn't about rejecting people. It's about accepting yourself. It's about realizing your time and energy have value. Every time you say no to something that does not matter, you're actually saying yes to something that does matter. Your peace, your goals. And to make it easier, learn to say no kindly. You don't have to sound harsh or cold. You can simply say something like, "Thanks for asking, I appreciate that, but I really need to finish some work right now." Or, "I'd love to go there, but I need some rest today." See, you're still being respectful. You're just honest about your limits, your time, your energy. And the people who truly care about you will understand that. They won't be mad at you for having boundaries. Another thing that you have to be really careful of is the people you spend your time with. Whether you like it or not, the people around us shape how we think, how we feel, how we see life, and even how we see ourselves. If you hang out with negative people all the time, it doesn't matter how positive or motivated you are. Sooner or later, you'll get their energy. You'll find yourself thinking the same way they do, complaining more, worrying more, doubting yourself more, and you won't even realize it's happening. Negative people focus on problems. When something goes wrong, all they ask is, "Why did this happen to me?" They drain themselves looking for someone to blame instead of looking for a way to fix things. But positive people, they lift you up. When you have an idea, they encourage it. They remind you that you can do it, even when you forget it yourself. That's why it's so important to choose your circle wisely. Your environment plays a huge role in your mental health. If you surround yourself with good energy, you will feel lighter, calmer, and more confident. But if you are constantly around negative people, it will also drain your peace and motivation. So protect your peace. Spend time with people who make you feel at peace, who help you grow, and who remind you that life is still good, even on the hard days. Another way to conquer your fear of missing out is to stop comparing yourself to other people. It's exhausting to live your life trying to impress everyone, or always comparing yourself to others and worrying about what people think of you. When you do that, you're not actually living. The truth is, nobody else's opinion should define your choices. You are unique. Your experiences, your goals, your path in life are different from other people. Stop measuring yourself against someone else's success, their job, their car. It doesn't matter. What matters is your journey, your progress. When your actions come from your own values and goals, you stop comparing yourself all the time. You stop feeling less than or better than anyone else. Even the most successful people wouldn't be happy if they spent all their time comparing themselves to others. You're not better or worse than anyone. You're different, and you have a different journey. You have a different life. You have different blessings. Everything about you is unique. So comparing yourself to others is just a waste of time. Another thing that gives you more stress is overthinking. When you're overthinking, your brain keeps dragging you back, replaying moments you regret, or making you anxious about stuff that hasn't even happened yet. Most of the things we are scared of, they don't really even exist. They are just all in our imagination, our heads. You can't change what has already happened, and it does not really matter because right now you are a new version of yourself, making new choices with new mindset, new way of thinking, and you don't really know what the future holds. You can't control these things. What you can control is this moment, to live in the now. When you focus on the now, you're not overwhelmed. You start enjoying life, really enjoying it. Fear and stress can also come from focusing on the results, not the action, not the improvement. Have you ever heard successful people saying, "Focus on the process"? There's a reason for that. Your goal isn't supposed to trap you into staring at the finish line. Something to guide you while you are actually living your life and experiencing new things. The habits you build while chasing that goal stay with you. They shape your whole life. Think about it. When you are working towards your goal, you build new habits to wake up early, to cut down on mindless scrolling of social media, study more, train harder. All these little habits are priceless, even if the goal takes time to reach. They improve your mental health, your energy, your relationships, your time management, and even how satisfied you feel with your life. Now, on your journey towards any goal, it's completely normal to feel lost, tired, rejected, or even failed sometimes. Every setback teaches you something. It gives you experience, wisdom, and resilience. You start handling life differently, stronger, calmer. So the most important thing, don't quit, keep moving, because the process is where you become the person who can handle the goal and the life you're aiming for. Sometimes we try to escape fear. When life feels too heavy, we look for ways to escape it. Scrolling endlessly, watching random videos, keeping ourselves busy just so we don't have to feel what's really going on inside. But running away doesn't actually make things get better. You might feel okay for a few hours, but as soon as the noise fades, the same thoughts, same anxiety, they all come rushing back. The real freedom starts when you face what's bothering you. Not with fear, but with honesty. If you face your problems, if you face your fears, trying to find a solution, take an action, and see improvement, you stop feeling helpless and you start feeling in control again. And that's how you build real peace of mind, not by escaping, but by taking small steps towards the life you want. So instead of running away, face it, because peace doesn't come from hiding, it comes from healing. In this day and age, I guess the most common cause for stress and anxiety comes from thinking what other people think of us. You know what? It's fine to care about people that you actually trust. They are giving you a feedback, the ones who genuinely want the best for you. But caring about everyone's opinion, especially the haters, that's just a waste of energy and a waste of time. People who try to put you down usually are projecting their insecurities or their limiting beliefs over you. They are unhappy, frustrated, and for some reason they want you to feel the same. And in this day and age, most people are triggered easily. One comment, one little opinion, and suddenly your mood is gone. Someone disagrees or someone does not like what you're doing, and your brain acts like it's the end of the world. While it's someone else's opinion, mess with your head. Their view is not a fact. It is their lens, their perspective. You don't have to carry that weight. Too many people stop chasing their dreams because of what other people might say. Too many don't even try because they are scared of judgment. If you keep letting everyone else control your decisions, you're not living your life. You're living theirs. You end up questioning every choice, hiding your real self, and honestly, that's exhausting. People have different way of thinking. They had different parents, different culture, different education. They were raised in different environments. It's okay if they have different opinion than yours. It's okay if they disagrees with you. It's okay if they don't like you. You will never make everyone happy. So why not make yourself happy instead? Focus on your life, your goals, and your happiness. And that brings us to the end of this video. If you like that type of content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in another video.